Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Vendo podcast. Super excited to have you all here. If you didn't see the first episode, my name is Nicolas Martinez, and I'm the Senior Marketing Strategist here, and joined today by my wonderful colleague, Dariya.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Nicolas. My name is Dariya, and I'm a digital media buyer here at Vendo. I help brands and all of our clients to drive external traffic back to Amazon and Walmart.
Awesome. Yeah. And so the point of today's podcast is to really start breaking into a lot of the external marketing and advertising strategies we do here at Vendo to support the brands that we work with on Amazon. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the terminology external marketing and advertising, we say external when it is outside of the Amazon marketplace, outside of the Amazon platform. So to a lot of people that run, Facebook ads, Google ads, all those types of things, the word external might seem a little foreign, but again, it's external to Amazon. So we're going to jump into why you should even be advertising and marketing off Amazon for Amazon. We're going to go over some of the more popular platforms, some of the least popular ones that we work with, Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, Snapchat, Pinterest. And we're also going to go into some of the different sales attribution tools so you can see how you can actually monitor and account for sales. And this is going to be more of an overview about the different platforms and kind of the big question of why do we do this and a little bit of how we do it. And then in future episodes, we're going to go into more detail. So we'll have a special episode dedicated to Facebook and Instagram, Google and YouTube, Snapchat, Pinterest, and whatever else is out there that can be used to drive traffic, build brand awareness, and drive sales, of course. So we'll jump right in now to the big question of why. Why do you want to advertise and market off of Amazon for Amazon? I mean, you probably think, I got onto Amazon because it has all these tools, all these promotional opportunities. I can advertise on Amazon. I have all this traffic. Why should I spend time, spending money off of Amazon? Well, that's a good question. And a lot of sellers on Amazon go through that thought process. And, maybe right now isn't necessarily the right time for you to consider off Amazon marketing, but, maybe it is. Maybe you've hit a plateau and you kind of feel like you've gotten as far as you can for the most part with the resources on Amazon. Or maybe you're just looking to really realize some hyper growth. Maybe you've got a big budget and it's not being used on Amazon. So you want to figure out other platforms to use that advertising and marketing budget to help support your Amazon business. Or maybe you already have, a big presence on paid media platforms for your own direct-to-consumer website or for other purposes, and you want to add an Amazon component to that. So there's a lot of different reasons why you might want to, but I'll go over kind of the big reasons. And really one of the biggest reasons is that is how Amazon's algorithm systematically values external traffic. And, I don't think that this can be proven with 100% certainty, but it's certainly been shared in the Amazon world, particularly in the last 6 months or so. A lot of experts and thought leaders are supporting this idea. And that is that the Amazon algorithm is systematically structured to value externally driven sales at a 3-to-1 ratio. So really what that means is if you're bringing traffic from outside of Amazon onto Amazon and you're driving a sale, Amazon's algorithm is going to value that sale at 3 times the rate that they would a sale that just started within the Amazon platform. So this is a really, really huge reason because if you get a sale, let's say on Facebook, you drive that sale to Amazon, that sale is worth 3 times the amount as a sale had you gotten it through an Amazon ad or some other Amazon tool. So right there is kind of the overarching theme for the importance of driving off Amazon traffic back to Amazon. And then I think another big theme is going to be owning your customer data. And so as we all know, it's very difficult to own your customer data on Amazon. Amazon, through its infrastructure in terms of service, has guards in place to prevent customer information, emails, addresses, phone numbers, etc. Really all that customer information you don't have access to, at least not easily, and it's definitely lessening. So if you're able to capture that information before you take that person to Amazon, it's not only within the terms of service of Amazon, but it's going to further strengthen your marketing abilities, right? Because if you have that email or that phone number or that name or that address, you've got a lead list. You've got people that you know are interested in your product and your brand, and you can now remarket to them and do all kinds of things. I mean, you can ask for reviews, you can drive future purchases, you can announce new product launches, do exclusives. You know, if you have your own direct-to-consumer site, this probably all sounds really familiar because, you know, you probably do this for your direct-to-consumer business. But again, it's more unique for Amazon. And so really the objectives of driving off Amazon traffic into Amazon is to maximize brand and product exposure, maximize search ranking. We'll get into some details about how you can actually boost your search ranking in an aggressive way. It's to bring in customer contact information for future remarketing purposes. And you know, at the end of the day, 51% of product searches do start on Amazon. So yes, you're going to get majority of people already going on Amazon, but what about that other 49%, right? That other 49% is still looking elsewhere. They might be looking at social media or Google. So it's good to be active in any way possible on those different platforms. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Facebook here. And then Dariya will jump right into Instagram, Google, YouTube. But just some cool stats about Facebook. I don't know if you're advertising on Facebook already, but 90% of social media users are on Facebook, and 31% of the world's population is active on Facebook. I mean, that's a huge chunk. That's 2.4 billion people active monthly on Facebook. So with that, you've got tons of different audiences that you can market to. And what's really great about Facebook advertising, just in general, not related to Amazon, is that one, it has robust audience targeting abilities. I mean, you can target from, you know, demographics, economic level, all kinds of things. And it has a lot of different ad formats. Dariya, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about the ad formats. We'll have another podcast about more detail, but some of the different ad formats or how you can customize ads on Facebook that's powerful.
Definitely. I would say Facebook has the most sophisticated ad platform. And as Nick said, it's one of the biggest social media platforms. They own Instagram, they own WhatsApp, they're growing Messenger, and they have a lot of amazing tools that you have to check out. There is Facebook for agencies. There is also Facebook Blueprint University that has great courses about Facebook advertising. Facebook ads has different goals. So for example, you can choose driving traffic to your website, or in our case, driving traffic back to Amazon. So that will be website clicks ad campaign. Or you can set up conversions like add to cart purchase. Those are more relevant for D2C, to direct to consumer website. But if you will create a landing page, then you can create a goal that conversion will be equal to that landing page. So you can also create conversion ads. You can also drive traffic back to your Facebook page, scale your Facebook page, create Instagram ads. Those are all the possibilities of Facebook advertising.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really so powerful. And you know, that's a perfect example of some of the capabilities here at Vendo to really, you know, go above and beyond in growing your Amazon business. And I think, you know, a couple other points on Facebook that are, you know, really valuable is how easy it can be to capture customer contact info. You know, you can have ads where with one click, they're basically submitting their email because it's already pre-filled in, or with one click, they're getting put into your Facebook Messenger lead list. So you can have a bot, you know, maybe through a service such as ManyChat, you can have an automatic bot conversing with the prospective customer. And then you can have them on your lead list. So, you know, after they purchase, you have them there to remarket to ask for reviews, to provide customer service, you know, post-purchase follow-up, or even before their purchase. Like, let's say they see your ad, you give them a discount code maybe to go purchase, and then they never use that discount code and they never purchase. Well, if you never got that person's contact info, you wouldn't be able to actually see follow up with them and kind of incentivize them further to finish that process of checking out. But with Facebook ads and an integration through ManyChat, integrating through with Zapier into Seller Central, I know I just mentioned a lot there, but we can create these systems so everything is on autopilot. And if a customer purchases, it goes right into, you know, customer service follow-up. If a customer doesn't purchase, a prospective customer doesn't purchase, it goes into maybe giving them a bigger discount or creating some type of urgency. So all kinds of fun stuff we can do there. I don't want to spoil the future podcast, but just a little bit there to give you guys some insight. But yeah, unless you have anything else about Facebook, Dariya, we can jump into Instagram.
Yep. We will dive deeper into Facebook advertising and ManyChat functionality definitely in this podcast. Instagram ads are part of Facebook ads. So whenever you create the robust Instagram ads, you will have to do it from the Facebook Business Manager. And Instagram ads are the great way for e-commerce owners and for Amazon merchants to access that audience. First of all, it's a rapidly growing audience. In 2019, it was over 2 billion people also using Instagram. It's something that I think everybody's daily using and scrolling. So it's a very, very popular ad. There are two ways you can drive back traffic from Instagram to Amazon is to create a website click links ad that will land on Instagram. So you will only select Instagram Explore, Instagram Search, and Instagram Stories in your settings when you create the Facebook ad. So whenever somebody will see your story, and when they swipe up, they will go to your Amazon listing. Another way is you can create the sales funnel or landing page. So whenever you create an Instagram ad, you can insert that link again in the swipe up and land your future customers on the landing page where they will leave you their information like phone number or email, and then you can use that for remarketing. Remarketing is that something we always want whenever we create ads for Amazon, right? So yeah, Instagram is an amazing tool that I think everybody should utilize marketing strategy.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's on a slightly different note, but you know, we should probably plan a future episode around this, and that is influencer marketing. So we do a lot of influencer marketing, specifically with Instagram influencers, a little bit of YouTube, and now evolving into TikTok as well. But yeah, definitely a topic we'll have to plan out for the future.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have a TikTok episode as well. TikTok is booming. Yeah. I will talk about Google Ads a little bit. So why driving traffic from Google back to Amazon? Well, because Google is the biggest search engine in the world. Google has all of our information. And when I say Facebook is the most sophisticated ad platform, Google has more data on us than Facebook because we use Google Maps, we use Gmail. Some of our people have Android. Of course, search is the biggest factor there. So Google Ads are a great way to drive external traffic back to Amazon, especially to create Google Shopping ads. So whenever you create Google Shopping ads, you can actually show the product that you're selling there. One of the beautiful parts of the Google Ads is to use in-segment targeting. So it's basically similar to Facebook's targeting because Google can match audience data to whoever ever visited your website, for example. So it has very, very robust targeting.
Excellent, Dariya. And what about YouTube? I know you've been doing quite a bit there, and I've heard that YouTube is one of the more, is it more inexpensive or more expensive?
It depends on the customer. It's a matter of testing. YouTube ads is a part of a Google Ads. So whenever you will be creating your YouTube ads, you will create it from the Google Ads platform. YouTube is, again, we call it the second search engine because currently, especially Generation Z, they don't Google stuff, they YouTube it, right? So it's 1 billion hours of YouTube content watched per day. Imagine how many people are on YouTube daily. It's the second most visited website in the world. It has 37 of all the worldwide mobile traffic belongs to YouTube. So yeah, YouTube ads, they tend to be more expensive than Google ads, but again, it depends on your advertising history, it depends on the product we're promoting, it depends the cost per click, it depends on the keyword difficulty. But we can definitely bring the cost per conversion or cost per click down with YouTube ads, but it's definitely worth testing. So again, we can ads on YouTube where we will drive traffic straight to the Amazon listing, or we will drive traffic to the landing page where we can collect data.
Interesting. And with YouTube, do you pay on that ad if someone doesn't watch the full like 30-second ad, or do you only have to pay if they've watched the full amount?
You can actually select when you pay and how you pay. So the pricing, yeah, you can select when, if people will watch that full 3 seconds, then you definitely pay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cause I know me, I'm usually clicking skip, counting down the timer until I can click skip. But I guess if you got an ad genius behind the ad, then like yourself, maybe you'll get my attention.
Yeah. And there is also different landings for the YouTube ads, so it's not only the in-stream video.
Yeah.
It can be also in search or in other placements.
Definitely, definitely, and Dariya, you mentioned something interesting there about driving to either a landing page or maybe to straight to Amazon. And I think that's an important thing to point out across all of these different ad platforms, is that more likely than not, you're going to want to have something in the middle of the product page in the ad, unless you are super sure that the traffic that you're driving to Amazon is very qualified and ready to purchase. Because a lot of advertisers make this mistake when driving to Amazon, is they think, oh, just take an ad, drive it straight to the product page. That'll, minimize the obstacles to purchase and get them to that buy box as quick as possible. And typically that is true with more traditional, maybe driving to your website, or because you can drive to a product page and still provide that brand awareness experience. But with Amazon, one of the issues with doing that is that it's an algorithmic based marketplace, right? Your direct to consumer website doesn't care, how many people bounce necessarily. They're not going to change the ranking of it's not going to change the ranking of your products, the visibility of your products based on how many people bounce. Obviously you don't want a high bounce rate on your website either, but it's not going to affect the visibility of your products once people actually get to your website. Whereas with Amazon, if you drive thousands of unqualified people to the product page, and you haven't vetted them and you haven't moved them down that sales funnel to where they're ready to purchase, well, they're most likely going to bounce. And then that conversion rate is going to drop on that product page. And what that means is your organic ranking is going to drop, which means your sales are most likely going to drop because less people are finding your product. And so a lot of people, if they just jump right into off Amazon to Amazon advertising and marketing, and they do it in that way, they actually might see sales decline. Like they could be doing worse than before. And that's a big reason why. So while driving to the product page to that buy box, theoretically sounds good, you definitely want to only do that when you have really qualified that traffic. Like if someone has said, okay, I want to buy now, give me a discount code, give me a link, I'm ready to go. Or, they've taken some sort of positive actions time and time again, then maybe that'll work. But more likely than not, we're probably going to, you probably should drive it to a landing page. The landing page can be on your website. There's third-party landing pages out there, such as Landing Cube, Amazon Pages, AMZ Promoter, or what's really great about Amazon is the brand stores. And I'll actually get a little bit into that towards the end of here, but kind of just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree with you. And I also wanted to mention that whenever you drive traffic back to a brand store, you have to make sure that your list is qualified. So the leads have to be on almost top of the funnel, it has to be warm list, right? So
Mhm.
the customers have to be warm up to your product already. So I would definitely use retargeting. So it will be a lookalike audience, or it will be an audience that purchased in last 180 days, and some of them didn't actually convert it. Or I would target your abandoned checkouts. So yeah, I definitely agree that it shouldn't be called targeting, and you shouldn't just send out people who don't know anything about your product to your Amazon page.
Perfect. Yeah. All right. Well, we've covered a lot already. I think we have, you want to go over Snapchat and Pinterest?
Yep, Snapchat. Snapchat is another great advertising platform. And what I really like about it is that you don't have to have an active Snapchat profile as a business. You don't have to post on it. You don't have to have videos. You don't have to have all that silly doggy faces there in order to create ads. So Snapchat is one of the platforms that has their profile separate from their platform or their Snapchat ads manager. So all you have to do as an advertiser is to create the Snapchat business manager or Snapchat ad manager. That takes less than 5 minutes. And then you can start creating ads and advertising. Snapchat is unique in the sense that the audience or demographics of Snapchatters is very young. So it's up and coming. A lot of businesses are turning towards Snapchat because the buying power right now belongs to Generation Z. So it's over 229 million per day that are using Snapchat daily. And it's a lot, it's a huge power. So if your brand has cute videos, because videos perform the best on Snapchat, or has videos that will work, that will speak to that generation, I would definitely explore Snapchat advertising, because of the demographics there is the biggest power of that, right? And also you can utilize Snapchat because it has a very robust targeting. They are pulling targeting from Experian, I believe. So they have very sophisticated targeting platform. You can target by interest, by demographics. You can target by very interesting keyword clouds, for example, surf goers or beach bums. So they have very specific and very different from Facebook or Google ad platforms. So I would definitely
Wow.
try Snapchat. If you're in fashion, if you're in beauty, if you're in lifestyle, or anything that you think if your content can be usable on Snapchat.
Well, that's really interesting. Yeah, I was just going to ask what type of products do best on there, you think, but anything kind of geared towards that younger demographic, younger generation, beauty, lifestyle, fashion. And how easy is it for someone who is seeing this Snapchat ad to actually, you know, take an action and maybe want to go purchase or learn more about the brand? What kind of capabilities does Snapchat have?
So Snapchat ads has different types of ads. The most used ones are the swipe up ads. So whenever you see, let's say, video or a picture, you just swipe up and you go to the link. That can be, again, the Amazon brand store, or it can be a landing page. So most of all of these ads are driving traffic to some landing page. So yeah, it's a swipe up ad.
Awesome. And looks like the last platform we're going to talk about today is Pinterest. Although we should have included TikTok in this, but we'll save that for later.
Yep.
But yeah, Pinterest. This is a more lesser used platform, I think, for driving back to Amazon, as is Snapchat actually. So I'm sure people are going to be excited to kind of hear how we've been using Pinterest at Vendo.
Yep. Pinterest, I would say we got a lot of requests about Pinterest, and Pinterest sees right now a very huge spike in user base and in general in usage because of the COVID-19 crisis. And the main reason is because it's politics-free platform. People go there for inspiration, people go there for motivation, people create their own boards. I would say brands that are, again, in beauty, in style, food and drink, anything visual, they would benefit from advertising on Pinterest. What is very interesting about Pinterest is that the majority of the audience are female, and most of them are in their in their age of 25 to 45. And usually females who are creating their boards, their income is over $80,000. That's what the statistics of the advertising is saying. So whenever somebody is creating a board or whenever somebody is pinning something, they're more likely to buy it because of the nature of the platform. So Pinterest is a great platform for conversions. And if you are targeting female only, that's your platform for sure.
Yeah, all very interesting points. And I think something that's unique about Pinterest too, that's different than some of the other platforms is at least organically, you know, the content that you're putting up there can go months without really gaining traction. And then all of a sudden, you know, it starts gaining traction. It's not like Instagram where, you know, something posted 5-10 days ago isn't showing up anymore on your feed. You can come across really old pins and, you know, depending on the season or the, you know, current social or cultural environment, all of a sudden, you know, your pins could be more relevant than ever, and that could drive some additional sales. And I know on the organic side of things too, that, you know, a lot of brands will create discount boards or boards with discount codes in there. So, you know, if someone's pinning your posts because they love the aesthetic or they just, you know, want to save it maybe as a wish list item down the road, well, there's a discount code, there's a link, it drives to Amazon, helps, you know, with ranking, helps with sales, all of that type of thing. So, you know, not just on the paid side, but also on the organic side, you can get really creative with Pinterest. And I think you'll see that it'll start taking off quickly. Like we just launched a Pinterest page for a protein bar brand less than 2 months ago, I think. And it's already getting over 300,000 monthly views. And you know, it doesn't have to all be your original content, not at all. Pinterest, you know, if you're not familiar, is a lot about just pinning other people's content and creating boards with other people's content. So for example, with the protein bar company, they focus on the keto diet. And so there's lots of keto recipes, keto photography, keto content, keto fitness inspiration. And so you can create boards and then use those pins to get your brand out there even more. So kind of has this interesting multiplier effect where you can really reach audiences very quickly, either organically or paid.
Definitely. And to add about Pinterest, that like people use Pinterest to usually shop and plan. So people already have that decision-making step already, right? So they're not a cold audience anymore. So whenever people are coming to Pinterest, they already have something in mind. So they're more likely to purchase certain item or from that board.
Yeah, for sure. I'm getting married soon, as you know, Dariya, and we've actually created our vision board for the wedding using Pinterest. So it's a really great tool, and I'm sure, you know, some of those items or products for the decoration and design will come specifically from those pins. So just a good example there.
Oh, that's awesome, because we're getting married as well.
All right. It's a crazy time to, you know, be planning a wedding during, isn't it? A lot of uncertainty. Well, cool. So yeah, I mean, that covers the main platforms that we wanted to go over today. Again, TikTok we'll have to include in an upcoming one. But I think, you know, without going into too much detail, I think it's important to let people know, you know, how they can actually track sales. That's a big question mark over a lot of people's heads when they're considering driving off Amazon traffic is, how do I know if I'm making any money on this? How do I know if it's working? And, you know, you've got the kind of more traditional ways that are built into the platforms. But when it comes to Amazon, it gets trickier, right? But there are some tools out there that we recommend. One of the tools is called the Amazon Attribution Beta Program. That's a new program that Amazon came out with, and by new, I think it's, you know, it's less than a year old. It's still in beta, so it's got some improvement. But basically, Amazon came out with this program as a way to try to overcome that hesitation that a lot of sellers on the platform have. They knew that people were unhappy with the attribution data they were getting. And so Amazon came out with this, and it's fairly easy to use. It has a 14-day attribution window. So yeah, that would be a recommended one. Another option is the Amazon Associates program. that program's been around for a while. It's an affiliate program, or at least that's how it was originally designed. You can earn, anywhere from like 5 to 10% commission back on every sale. So, when you're considering your advertising budget and your margin, and you can implement that 5 to 10% commission depending on the category. Usually it's 5%, and that's some money back. And it does track sales up to only a 24-hour attribution window, though, which is a drawback for sure. The person just has to add the product to their cart within 24 hours, and then they actually have 90 days to purchase. So as long as they're adding it to their cart within 24 hours, it'll usually pick up that sale. And then there's attribution through the brand store. So if you have brand registry on Amazon, you have a registered trademark that you have, enrolled with the Amazon brand registry program. You can create a brand store, www.amazon.com / insert your brand name. It's a cool custom URL, vanity URL. And, you can track sales that are driven to that brand store within a 14-day attribution window. And you can actually tag the links. So you can have a link for email, you can have a link for Facebook, Google, you can have different links for Facebook. Maybe you want Facebook link 1, 2, 3, whatever the purpose is, so that you can really kind of get it granular with how you're tracking your data. You can of course use discount codes. That's always a very, pretty seamless way. You can use the code, you can download the all orders report, see the promotions that were used. Now, all of these things that I just mentioned are really good in tracking sales, but they're not so great in sending that data back to the ad manager, right? So if you're running a Facebook ad and you're driving sales and you're able to see it because you used a discount code or you used an associate's link, well, that's great. You drove that sale, but that doesn't mean the Facebook ad is now getting stronger. It's not optimizing for that sale. And that is a big gap in the process and does cause a lot of issues. And so here at Vendo, we've been coming up with different workarounds, and a lot of people, in the industry that are really focused on these tactics have come up with some workarounds. And one of the ones that we've used, give a shout out to Yev at ZonTracker. He's a great guy over there and very helpful. He's developed this third-party tool that basically allows for communication between Amazon Seller Central and Facebook Business Manager. So if anybody sees your ad on Facebook Business Manager and then they go and they purchase off Seller Central, ZonTracker communicates between the two and lets Facebook know that the sale happened. So now Facebook can optimize itself for that sale and narrow the audience targeting and so on and so forth. It's not, it doesn't work 100%, and Yev will be the first one to say that. But he's got a great team of people himself and as well that are always working on fine tuning it. And so it's definitely better than nothing and recommended to use. And then there's also different services that create special links like Pixelfy Me we use. And Pixelfy Me is really great because it allows you to pixelate I think that's the word, pixelate. It allows you, or pixelfy, I guess, pixelfy a link. Yeah, basically, you can't put a Google Pixel or a Facebook Pixel on your Amazon product page. But if you're using a Pixelfy Me link, it doubles as a pixel. And wait a minute, there's one more thing there. You can also target a keyword. So if you guys are familiar with super URLs, two-step URLs, all those types of kind of URLs that help with ranking, well, Pixelfy Me is that and more. So you can actually put a keyword in there. And so imagine this, you're running an ad, you're giving a discount code out. They ask for the link. You give them the link. It's a Pixelfy Me link. It's targeting keto bars because, back to my example, you're a keto brand. Now, every time someone clicks that link, it's driving your ranking up a little bit more for that keyword, especially, of course, if they're making a purchase. So you're getting sales attribution data through the Pixelfy Me link. You're getting keyword ranking increase. You can add a pixel in there. You can track clicks, all that fun stuff. So those are some kind of overview of some of the different tools. And we'll go into more detail in future podcasts. Dariya, did I cover all those sales attribution tools? Are you using anything I didn't mention? Or
You would definitely use Pixelfy Me,
yeah,
Zone Tracker, just the native ad platforms and their dashboards and analytics. Google Analytics, you can also set up goals. So in Google Analytics, if you're using Google Ads, you can see the revenue, and you can see how much of the goals been completed if you're selling to Amazon. Yeah, I would definitely connect Google Analytics. And we also have Zapier.
no, yeah.
So, yeah. Zapier is a great tool. It's basically zaps two different applications in between each other. So something that is not working or not integrated with each other, you can actually integrate through Zapier, to explain it in a more simple way. So yeah, you can create zaps between Google Ads or between Google Analytics and Amazon Seller Central. You can create a zap between Facebook and ManyChat back to Amazon Seller Central. So yeah, so they can exchange information, and you can see the completion again of that goals of sales or purchasers or add to carts.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, and I think a good call out too, in addition to all this, direct attribution data, is the indirect attribution, right? The organic sales increase that you see as a result of all these efforts, and that's another big part. I've talked to different advertising managers, media buyers, such as yourself, Dariya, and some of them will say that they consider a Facebook ad to Amazon successful, even if it's just breaking even on direct attribution, because when they go and look at the indirect sales increase, basically you're driving more sales from the ad. So now your ranking is increasing. Now you're getting found by a lot more customers organically on the marketplace, and your sales are going up. So when looking at how you're kind of considering your success with any of these things, always look at your total sales increase in addition to the direct ad generated sales.
Yeah, definitely. And it's, of course, it's very good for your brand awareness. It's great for the overall image of the brand. It's great for ranking, and it's just a long-term strategy. I would also look at the external, not as a 1 week or 1 day strategy. I would look at the long-term strategy where you're building out your image on social media or on search as Google or any other platforms.
Definitely. Well, I think we got a lot of information out there, Dariya, especially for an overview. So hopefully this was valuable for everyone listening or watching. There's a lot more where this came from. We're really excited to share it all with you. But just to kind of run down some of the key aspects we just talked about, why should you be doing any of this? There's a lot of reasons, but again, Amazon is valuing this external traffic at 3 times the rate. So if you're going to put your efforts outside of, if you're going to look outside of Amazon to put your efforts, just remember that, that 3 times multiplier. And then, if having customer data is always is a concern of yours, and you're just thinking, oh, I wish I had an email list of all my customers, or I wish I could, have a list of people to announce this new product launch to, but darn Amazon, they never share that stuff with me. Well, just know, where there's a will, there's a way. And you can figure it out. If not on your own, feel free to contact us, and we'd be happy to help out. But yeah, that was Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube, Snapchat, Pinterest. A lot of info there. If you want to email us, it's hello@vendocommerce.com. You can also find us across all social platforms at Vendo or at vendo.commerce. Feel free to follow us, reach out. Don't be a stranger.
Yep. Thank you, Nick. That was a great podcast series.
All right. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you in the coming weeks. Have a great day.